Imagine a world where the simple act of asking a question could unravel complex truths, spark revolutions in thought, and challenge the very fabric of our beliefs. This is the world of Socrates, a philosopher who dared to say, "I know that I know nothing," and yet profoundly transformed how we think, reason, and understand. Socrates, one of the titans of Western philosophy, wasn't executed for the answers he gave. He was condemned for the questions he dared to ask. Socrates' life and his legendary questioning method offer timeless lessons, not just for philosophers, but for everyone navigating the modern complexities of relationships, ethics, politics, and self-discovery. What can we learn from the man who saw himself as a midwife of ideas? Let's dive deep into the life, philosophy, and enduring impact of Socrates, exploring how his methods can empower our own lives today. In 399 BC, Socrates stood accused in an Athenian court. The charges: corrupting the youth and failing to honor the gods of Athens. But his real crime, in the eyes of his accusers, was something far more dangerous. He questioned everything. He was an intellectual provocateur who challenged the complacency of those around him, unveiling the fragility of their unexamined beliefs. Socrates' defense, immortalized in Plato's Apology, was as bold as the man himself. He didn't beg for mercy. Instead, he argued that his relentless questioning was a service to Athens, a kind of philosophical pest control. The unexamined life, he famously declared, is not worth living. But why were his questions so threatening? Unlike other philosophers of his time, Socrates didn't lecture from a pedestal or claim to possess ultimate knowledge. Instead, he engaged people, ordinary citizens, esteemed politicians, and ambitious youths alike in thought-provoking dialogues. Through persistent questioning, he would dismantle their certainties, forcing them to confront their own ignorance. Take, for example, his conversation with Euthyphro, a young man eager to prosecute his father for impiety. When Euthyphro confidently asserted that he knew what piety was, Socrates began peeling back his argument, layer by layer. Was piety simply what the gods love? But don't the gods disagree? And if they do, can something be both pious and impious? By the end, Euthyphro was left grappling with a much deeper understanding, or perhaps the realization of how little he truly knew. This technique, now known as the Socratic method, isn't just about finding answers. It's about uncovering assumptions, sharpening critical thinking, and embracing intellectual humility. Consider this. Is lying always unjust? At first glance, most of us might say yes, but Socrates wouldn't stop there. What if a lie saves lives? What if it lifts the spirits of soldiers in battle? By posing these questions, Socrates showed how rigid moral rules often crumble under the weight of real-life complexity. This approach isn't confined to philosophical thought experiments. It has been the backbone of advancements in medicine, law, and science. During the Renaissance, doctors used the Socratic method to dissect diagnoses, leading to breakthroughs in medical understanding. Lawyers still use it today to prepare for court, challenging assumptions with hypothetical scenarios to anticipate every possible argument. Even the United States Supreme Court relies on this method, probing lawyers with unexpected questions to reveal the full implications of a case. Socrates' legacy thrives in classrooms, courtrooms, and labs because his method transcends content. It's about how we think. Socrates likened himself to a midwife not because he delivered babies, but because he helped people birth their own ideas. His goal wasn't to provide answers, but to draw out latent truths within his interlocutors. This metaphor beautifully captures the essence of the Socratic method, guiding others to self-discovery rather than spoon-feeding them prepackaged wisdom. But Socrates didn't just stop at intellectual midwifery. He forced his conversation partners to confront their contradictions. By dismantling false logic, he cleared the path for more refined, coherent ideas. Imagine applying this in your own life. How often do we accept our assumptions as fact? Socratic questioning invites us to pause, reflect, and re-examine the foundations of our beliefs. Socrates' method isn't just for philosophers. It's a tool for personal growth, better relationships, and sharper decision-making. Here's how you can use it. Instead of debating to win, ask questions to understand the other person's perspective. What assumptions underlie their beliefs? Are they consistent? Question your own choices. Why are you making this decision? Is it based on evidence or emotion? What would Socrates ask? Challenge your self-perceptions. Do you truly know yourself, or are you clinging to a comfortable narrative? By embracing Socratic questioning, we can cultivate intellectual humility, empathy, and clarity in a chaotic world. Socrates' commitment to questioning came at a high cost. Condemned to drink hemlock, he faced death with unflinching calm. Even in his final moments, he continued to probe life's deepest mysteries. Artists often depict him surrounded by grieving followers, a serene philosopher exploring the ultimate question: what lies beyond death? His death wasn't the end, it was the beginning of a philosophical tradition that continues to shape our world. Plato, one of his most devoted students, preserved his teacher's ideas in dialogues that have inspired countless generations. Socrates reminds us that life's most profound truths often lie on the other side of discomfort, doubt, and rigorous questioning. His method isn't about finding all the answers, it's about cultivating the courage to ask better questions. In a world overflowing with information, but often devoid of wisdom, Socratic questioning is more relevant than ever. Whether you're grappling with moral dilemmas, navigating relationships, or seeking clarity in your own mind, Socrates' example offers a timeless blueprint for intellectual and personal growth. So, the next time you're faced with uncertainty, channel your inner Socrates. Ask, what do I truly know? What assumptions am I making? And most importantly, what questions will lead me closer to the truth? Stay curious, my friends, and keep questioning.